Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It is currently April and April is a big new release month. Like this year, like last year, we had so many new releases coming out in April, and then this year we have so many more. And it always tends to be April and May that we tend to get like all these new releases coming out for books. So I thought we should read all of them in this video. So this video is gonna make a month-long video of me reading every single one of my most anticipated releases in April. So far we have 4 new releases that of my anticipated releases that are out so far. And we have Say Remember Me, The Conditions of Will, Fearless, and Enchantra. I'm actually already started one. Yesterday, Fearless came out and I just could not wait for me to start this video to start the book, because like I was like, I need to get into the book. So I did start it. I have it on my Kindle, and right now I read up to, I think I was like 30-ish, no, 30-ish%, no, probably 20-ish% yesterday. I was like around then, and then today I got 50% into the book. So I'm currently 50% into Fearless. I feel like it's just dragging. Like it's very much dragging. I don't know, the first 100 pages, like this is the exact same thing I felt about Reckless. Like the first few 100 pages, like the first few chapters were eating. Like we were getting so much like going, that had so much going for it. And we also have this other POV that I actually am really loving, and I'm preferring reading that POV over Kai and Peyton's POV. But I feel like to the point where we are at, I'm just not like loving it. Like I don't know, it's just so weird. Like I feel like the pacing is just really off. Like I feel like it's so slow, but then again, like I don't think it's slow. I just feel like it's just dragging because things are happening, but then again, like things aren't happening. Like it's kind of like a balance. Like are things happening, are things not happening? And it's just so annoying. So many bombs have been dropped, figuratively, literally and figuratively, but so many bombs have been dropped in reading the book, and like within like the plot twist, and like especially within these especially within this POV that we are getting, there are so many plot twists that are kind of just like connecting the dots and giving this book, I feel like this book is being good because of those chapters. But I'm also just loving kind of the Kai and Peyton like moments that we get. Like if you read these books, you know, like the romance and the banter, and like kind of like, I don't know, I feel like we kind of lost the tension within this one. Like I feel like to the point where we're at now, we just lost the tension with these two characters, and I feel like the tension was at its highest with Reckless. But a lot of people do not like that book, and I don't know, I'm very indifferent about that book. I don't know, I just really, I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. So that's where I stand with that one. But this one, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm just been rambling about the same thing, but like I feel like that's what this book has been. Like just talking about the same thing over and over again. We're bringing up these plot points, like we need to go do these, and this is something that also gets brought back up, and we're just like, oh my gosh, like it's just like following the same repetitive storyline. And we're just not doing anything about it. We're not acting on any of this. And it's the fact that in these chapters that we're getting, like these extra POV chapters, we're getting these plot twists revealed, but it's like plot twists revealed for us. Like they don't know. Like the characters that we're following currently, because the characters that we're following currently don't really know anything about this extra POV thing. And it's just so like frustrating, because like we're going off like these big, like this chapter, like oh my god, it's so good, now let's get back into the story, and they're just doing the same thing. Like we're going back into the Kai and Peyton's POV, and they're just doing the same thing over and over again, and it's really annoying me. It's actually really irking me. It's like making me so upset, and I'm actually kind of sad, because I was really excited about reading this one, and right now I'm just very disappointed. And it's giving the same way I felt about Onyx Storm. Like I just feel like I'm having similar thoughts, and I don't know what it is about new releases, especially fantasy new releases, where it's just like so like mundane, boring. Like I don't know, you know. But I'm gonna continue reading Fearless, and we're gonna see how far we get within this book. I really want to finish it tonight. Can we finish it tonight? I would love to start another new release, especially since I'm not really loving this one. I would love to start another new release. I'm gonna finish Reckless. Maybe I'll see you guys, I don't know, maybe I'll see you guys when I finish Reckless, or maybe before that. The last time I filmed, was it? Yeah, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was probably maybe the day before yesterday, but I did end up finishing Fearless by Lauren Roberts. of course. I don't know. I have very conflicting thoughts on this book. I think the last time I was talking to you guys, it was when I was like halfway through and I was telling you guys I was like kind of hitting a rough patch and I wasn't really loving the book. But I ended up finishing it and I did have those same feelings like going into the rest of the series, not the series, the rest of the book till like the very end. And I thought when we got to that ending point of the book, it just felt like so much was happening and there was different things happening and different plot twists started dropping. And I will say one of the plot twists that kind of got revealed in the beginning, I thought I had the plot twist down. I felt I was like, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, and this is what's happening. No, she fooled me. She got me. She actually got me, and I wasn't thinking she was gonna get me, but she did. She got me with that plot twist. And the way I was shook, like I was so shook to the point where I couldn't even talk, couldn't even like comprehend what I was just like what I just read. I was just like flabbergasted. So bravo, Lauren Roberts, for that. I don't even know what I'm rating this. I don't know. I'm in between a 3.5. I edit this, I'll probably have a rating to put up on the screen, but right now I'm in between a 3.5. I just don't know which one I'm leaning more towards, but I know it's not like a 2.5 and I know it's not a 4. I just know it's a 3 or a 3.5, and it's not a 3.25. Like I don't like to do like 3.25 and 3.75 unless it's absolutely necessary, and I feel like for this one it just doesn't. I don't think it's a 3.25. I think it's either a 3 or 3.5. So talk about this a lot more in my wrap up at the end of the month. Right now we're not really gonna dwell on this. I will say there were moments I did enjoy, and I love Kai and Peyton. Like Kai and Peyton are some of my favorite characters that I've read, and I just love like some of Kai's one-liners. I will say I missed his one-liners. I still pretty much enjoyed this one. It's just not my favorite, but this one I just felt like there was just nothing really happening. I just felt like the romance in this one as well was just very repetitive of the first 2 books, and we're kind of saying the same thing that we were saying in the first 2 books in this one, but just like kind of using different wording. Hopefully we have some more actually like good new releases that don't disappoint me in this video, because I will be so sad if every single new release I read in this video is disappointing. The next book we're going to be reading in today's video is Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Now I'm very, very excited to be reading this because Abby Jimenez is one of my top favorite romance authors and authors, like period. And I read Just for the Summer last year, and it was my first Abby Jimenez book, and I gave that one 5 stars, and I was like so shocked. I was not expecting before going into it to be giving it 5 stars, but then I read it and I was like, this book is just so good. So going into this one I have is a 5-star prediction, just because Just for the Summer was a 5-star, and I feel like when you write you can only get better, and for Just for the Summer to be a 5-star read, this one I already think is gonna be a 5-star. I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm about 70 pages into it. I'm on chapter 11, but maybe we should talk about some of my first impressions so far. I really am enjoying the main guy. I feel like he's very sweet, very caring, and I feel like what we've read of him so far from their first date was just really good. And I don't know, I also love the girl and the main guy. I'm loving both of the characters. I will say I feel like they're just kind of falling in love way too fast, and for them to only going on 1 date and just already being like the guy just already being obsessed over her, and it was just like just very unbelievable and very unrealistic so far. So hopefully that doesn't ruin the book for me. But also there was just very modern references, like Rhysand from the ACOTAR series. Like once is maybe okay, but literally mentioning it like what 10 times, that's literally what it felt like. It felt like 10, 15, 20 times like they've mentioned Rhysand, and it just cringes me every single time. And then they also mention like Roblox, and I'm just like, stop it, like please stop it, we're ruining the book. But and then so I left off on the part like that's kind of like in the synopsis, like they go on their first date, they meet each other like from like this one incident, and then he treats her very, very like rudely. He comes off very rude, and then he apologizes, and then they go on this first date, and then she has to go away because something happened in her personal life, and she has to go fly to California. So it's kind of like, we can't be in a relationship because I'm leaving and this is not going to work out, which I don't like in books. I don't. But I don't know. We'll see how this goes so far. I'm really enjoying the writing. Like Abby Jimenez's writing has always been very much like enjoyable and fast paced, and I really enjoyed that. So we'll see how that goes. So far, I'm only 70 pages in, so not much to really comment about, but those are kind of like my first impressions and my thoughts being 70 pages in and just starting out with the book. Oh my god. So cringe. It's so cringe. I need some time to think on this. I'm finally ready to talk about Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I had to take a couple days to think about this book just because I didn't really love it. And I was stuck on a rating for this one. I was like, every time I thought about it, I was like, okay, maybe we're going a little lower than my rating. I don't know. I just did not love it. I think I settled on a 3 stars for this one, but it could go down from there. It could go down, like, I don't know, every time I think about this book I just have a bad taste in my mouth about it, and just like thinking about it and just like thinking about what I read and what I experienced and what my main issues were, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it's like, I don't know if I really, the enjoyable parts of the book were really redeemable enough for it to not be a 2.5 or like a 2. So I'm still gonna be thinking about that, but right now it's a 3 stars. But I don't know. There's no rant incoming. Rant, if you don't like rants, skip this part of the video, but I'm literally gonna rant on this. So we start off the book with them going on a date, their first date, kind of like how Just for the Summer kind of goes. They're going on dates and like different things, but they're going on their first date. And they kind of like have a good time. They're doing like the different activities, like they're doing like laser tag and other things. And then they end up going into like an escape room or whatever, and then they get locked in there. And then I guess they kind of like just guy. Well, the first time they meet, they kind of start off with like he's the vet and she brings in like this cat, and basically he's very much loves animals. He's an animal defender. I mean, guy who's the doctor is like, you need to take this person to take the cat to get the treatment that's like costs like all this money. And then she's like, I don't have this money, I'm just gonna leave it, I don't really care, and he's just very mad about it, and like just like basically like just like is very rude to her. And then they end up going on this date, and he apologizes, and they meet up again for their first date. And right off the bat, it's just so insular because like he's in his POV. We are already like just seeing how he's obsessed with the main girl, and it was just like so like, oh my gosh, insta lovey. And then you see the main girl on her POV be like, oh my god, he's like, I love him. And it just felt like the romance did not feel believable because it was just happened way too fast. Like they were together by page 30. Yeah. Also, just again, like, I feel like everyone's main gripe with this book also is the modern references. Like, we mentioned Rezan from the ACOTAR series on multiple occasions, and it's like on multiple occasions, like not even like spread out throughout the book, which it is kind of spread out throughout the book, but so many times in just the first 30 pages we mentioned Rezan so many times, where it was to the point where it was just cringy. Like not only did you have to do it once, it made me cringe, you had to do it multiple times. And then they also mentioned some other modern day references, like there's some major TikTok references. No. Like what? No, like it's just like I don't know how we fell so hard from Just for the Summer. And I know there's some people out there that love this book and give it 5 stars or give it 4 stars, 4.5. They could love it. And I don't judge you. And I'm not gonna judge anyone that does love this book. Booklet, just like I hope you don't judge me for not liking this book, because it's my opinion and it's your opinion. Your opinion that you love it, and my opinion I don't like it. So hopefully that's a mutual understanding, but I just did not love this one a lot. Abby Jimenez's writing always stays still good. Also, I really enjoyed the emotional connection, not the emotional connection, the emotional moments in this book with her mom and with some other family things that kind of happened. But wait, also talking about that, although I did kind of enjoy seeing some of that and like having like point, because like I always love when there's an emotional subplot within books, but why did it feel like the family drama in this book was overtaking the romance? Like, it felt like we were so focusing so much on the family drama that this book should have just been a literary fiction about a family drama with a subplot of romance. That's really what it felt like. Like, every time we got the romance scenes, it was just, like, very insta-lovey. Like, nothing happened. Like, it just gave me nothing every time. And I had no connection, no, like, feelings toward them. So, it's kind of hard to like a book and you don't like the characters, so. There were some scenes though in between that I did enjoy, and I did relate a lot to the main guy in this book as well, so that's some bonuses there, like some things I enjoyed. But overall, it's just not my favorite Abby Jimenez book. I think Just for the Summer will always stay as my top favorite until the next release, but we'll see. We're starting the next book, which is, we actually already started it, but the next book we're going to be reading is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This one came out the 8th of April. I'm not even keeping track of the days anymore. Really don't know what, like, I don't know why it's necessary to talk about the days, so we're not going to talk about it. But Enchantra, this one is the second book in the Phantasma little series. I think it's called the Wicked Game series, but it's the sequel to Phantasma. And Phantasma, I read it last October. I can't remember if I read it in October or September. No, I think I read it in October. In Phantasma, you're following the Ophelia, and her mother just died, and basically her sister Genevieve runs away, and she runs to this place called Phantasma, which is like a game that happens like every few, I think it's like every few years, but like it just disappears. Like, it's giving very much Caraval vibes. If you've read Caraval, there's this like mysterious place and it disappears every few years and comes back every few years. And it's like this game of challenges and trials and stuff that kind of happens. But I feel like I enjoyed Phantasma a lot more than I enjoyed Caraval. And I feel like there were a lot more like things within the Phantasma, like the more of the trials. Like, I think I like trials where like there's actual trials going on instead of just like a whole thing going on where there's like one big picture. I kind of like different little trials that kind of happen. But we have Enchantra, which follows Genevieve, and what's really weird about this too, like going off of also Caraval and stuff, Caraval follows Scarlet, right? Yeah, Scarlet, and then she's trying to find her sister Donatella, who goes missing in Caraval. Yeah, I can see how it's very similar. But, and then this one, we're following the sister of, Ophelia. And when we go into Legendary, the rest of the series of Caraval, Legendary follows the sister of Scarlet. So far, I'm on page 143, and I'm really enjoying this one so far. I think I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did Phantasma, but I feel like that's already because we already have the world set up But since this place takes place since this book takes place in a new setting, I feel like we are kind of diving into that setting and the characters that come with that setting and learning more about them and different things. But I think we're now getting up to the point where we start the actual trials, because I made it past the spring equinox chapter and the beginning. So I'm on the night of the spring equinox, and then I think the next one is when they get into the actual trials, which is called The Hunt. And I'm really enjoying it so far. The romance right now, so slow burn, like so very slow burn, which I'm really enjoying, because with Phantasma, I feel like the romance started like that, and then we had like a lot of physical interactions. Then we did actually building up the plot line, and I feel like we started losing the plot for the romance. And hopefully this one, that doesn't happen, but because I haven't gotten to the trials yet, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. Hopefully it doesn't, because I feel like that's one of my main gripes with Phantasma and why it's not a higher rating than a 4. But with this one, so far the romance is very slow burn. Like, they very much hate each other. Like, they still very much hate each other. And it's true enemies to lovers. Like, every time there's an enemies to lovers in a romance, someone's like, you're not enemies to lovers. But in a fantasy book, it eats down. I really wanna finish this one today. Oh my gosh, I'm having like such a good time. Like, every time I pick up the book to read, I'm just like entranced, right? Is that a word? Entranced by the world and the storyline, and I'm really enjoying the characters and also the snippets of the little tiny snippets of romance that they're getting. Also the banter. It's so good. If you know me, I love good banter, and it's so good right now. So hopefully this continues being a good book and an enjoyable read. Right now I'm enjoying it a lot more than Phantasma. The last clip was literally me starting Phantasma, Enchantra, but guess what? I literally finished it last night. Y'all, it was so good. Like, I was like, I think when I last filmed saying I was starting this book, I was like around 120 pages. I literally binged the entire rest of this book in like less than a few hours. Guys, it was so good. Oh my gosh, I really enjoyed this one. I think I'm putting this on the same level as Phantasma, because I was really thinking about it. I'm like, do I like this one better or do I like Phantasma better? And honestly, I think they're just both the same kind of level for me. And this one of 4 stars. It was really good. I thought it started off really strong, and I really formed an attachment towards these characters. I think what really like kind of slowed the book down for me, like I feel like the pacing kind of slowed down for me when they got into like the actual like trials and like the game portion of the book. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it was just so redundant, and like kind of the same things were kind of happening, like, oh, we need to kill Genevieve, and Rowan needs to win the games, or no, I need to win the game because and Rowan is the savior, can be the savior of all of his family from winning, but Genevieve is in the way. Like, I just felt like it was so redundant, like all these people trying to kill Genevieve. It was just so like, okay, it was just so redundant. But I really loved how slow burn the romance was in this one. Like, I feel like they didn't really like get together until like probably like the 60-70% mark of the book, and even then they weren't really truly like together. It is a fake forced kind of marriage kind of situation, but I feel like they really didn't have like a true connection. Like, they had a connection, but I feel like they didn't like really go all in until like the 60-70% mark, which I really appreciated, because I feel like within Phantasma, the romance for me kind of took away from the plot. Like, I just feel like there was just so much romance that was just like, okay, like now we're kind of taking that away from the plot, and we're just kind of shortening the plot for the romance. And I don't like when that happens in fantasy books, because like the plot is too good. I feel like for a plot like Phantasma, it is too good for it to be overshadowed by a romance that when this is a fantasy book. So it's I feel like it's a fantasy before it's a romance. Like, even though it's called romance, and it starts with the romance, I feel like it's fantasy first. Like, it should be a fantasy first. But that's just my opinion. But I still really enjoyed both of these books, and I'm excited to see where she goes next, because I'm pretty sure she's mentioned that this is going to be a 4-book series. So we have Phantasma, Enchantra, and then we have 2 more. So I think I have an idea on who the next book is going to be, and I'm going to be really excited if I am right on who the next book's going to be about. Oh my gosh. Also, the color, like we had a red cover, we have a purple cover. I think the next one is a green cover. I would love to see like a dark green. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like that would eat down. Like, I would love to see like a dark green cover, but we'll see on that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Enchantra. Really enjoyable, and it's really refreshing to read a new release and actually enjoy it, because I read 2 others in this video and didn't really love them, so it feels really refreshing to enjoy one. Last night I started The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings, and I got around 100 pages into it. And guys, tell me why the quotes in this book were hitting me so hard last night. Like, I was really on the verge of tears, like at every single line, almost every single line. Just like how toxic the whole family dynamic is, and how much drama there is within it. It's just so, I will say it is entertaining to read through and like just like be like, oh my gosh, like this is actually insane, actually crazy, like the amount of drama that can surmount from what happened. And I don't know, I really enjoy it. I'm really enjoying it so far. I want to finish it. We're actually about to go on an 18-hour road trip. I can see this being a 5-star read, which is very, very interesting. Okay, y'all, it's time to talk about The Conditions of Will. I actually finished this one on the road trip home yesterday, because I was on a road trip to Florida. That vlog will be coming out soon, but I was reading The Conditions of Will, and I was reading it on the road trip there, and then I finished it on the road trip back. Y'all, this book was so freaking good. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. Ever since I finished it, have not stopped thinking about it. Literally one of my favorite books, I think, of the year. Not expecting to love this one, like, at all. I wasn't even expecting to like it, because when Never came out, which was her first book after writing in the Magnolia Park series in the universe, she wrote Never and she released it. And that book, like, literally everyone hated it. Not everyone, most people hated it. Like, that book, like, was literally like everyone wasn't liking it. They're like, it's the worst, like, really bad book. 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. And to the point where I was like, I was so unmotivated to read it. Like, I was like, I'm never gonna read that book, no pun intended. But yeah, I was like, I'm never reading that book. Like, that's never gonna come up on my radar at all. So now when Conditions of Will was announced, I was like, okay, maybe I'll read this, maybe I won't. It depends on like how it's received or whatever. So then, but then it started getting like really hyped up, like closer to the release date, and everyone was talking about it. I'm like, okay, I need to pick this one up. So I added it to my radar for like my new releases, and that's how I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it in this video. Guys, I read the book. It's so good. This is a solid 4.5 stars. Literally, I was like so shocked that I rated it 4.5. It's so good. Oh my gosh, like, it's so toxic. It's giving kind of the same vibes as Magnolia Parks, and it is set in the same universe as Magnolia Parks, because we do mention something that kind of happens in the Magnolia Parks universe for the future. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil anything, but that's all I'm gonna say. There are some connections. And guys, it's so good. It made me want to, finishing this made me want to go and pick up the next Daisy Hates book, like Daisy Hates 2, because I only read the first 3 Magnolia Parks, like, universe, like Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, and Magnolia Parks 2. And it made me want to go pick up Daisy Hates The Great Undoing. Writing is just so good. Like, I just love writing. There's no writing like Jessa Hastings' writing. Her writing is just so distinct and so unique. Like, just the way that she describes things and the metaphors, and like, this writing in this one was very reminiscent of Magnolia Parks. Like, I was just catching things. Like, there was just very like some parallel. There was a lot of parallels between the writing in that universe and the writing in this book. It was just so good. Also, I loved the romance. Literally, Sam Penny, how down bad he was for Georgia and how he would bat for her, like literally for anything. Like he would bat for her 100%. I loved that. Like it was just so good. Like he was just there for her through and through, and it was just so good. Like, oh my gosh, I love them. And dare I say I love them more than I do Magnolia and BJ? Dare I say that? Dare I say that? Dare I say that? But yeah, I really love this one. I'll probably talk about it a lot more in my wrap up, but I don't know, I'm just still fresh off of my thoughts since I did just finish it last night. But really enjoyed this one. 4.5 stars. Y'all, it is time. Guys, you will not guess, well, you probably can guess what's in this bag. It came out a few days ago, but I unfortunately could not read it then because I was on a vacation. But it is time. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, guys. My most anticipated release of the entire year is in this bag. It is in this bag. And that is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I'm still shocked that this is in my hands. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Literally so excited, guys. This is my most anticipated release of the entire year. Emily Henry is literally one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite author. I love her books. Like her writing is just so good. Her like just the way that she writes the characters and like how relatable some of the things that these characters go through are. I'm so excited, guys. A new Emily Henry book. Every time a new Emily Henry book drops, I'm sat. Happy Place. I really enjoyed. One literally my Happy Place is like literally my favorite book ever. Beach Read, 5-star, one of my favorite books by her. Book Lovers, just reread that one, really enjoyed that one. That's a solid 4.5. People Motivation, like I didn't really love that one. Funny Story, it was okay, but Great Big Beautiful Life, guys. I'm curious to see where this is going to fall in the ranking of my Emily Henry books. I've heard that this book is more mystery-esque and less of the romance, like a lot more literary fiction, which her books are ready. Like we already get that subplot of literary fiction along with that main plot of romance. So I think this is still gonna eat. Like literally, I've seen a lot of reviews like being like, "Oh my gosh, it's not like it's 2 stars. It's boring." Da 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 da. And I heard that gives very much Taylor Jenkins Reid vibes, which I've read 2 Taylor Jenkins Reid books, Seven Husbands and Daisy Jones, and I really enjoyed both of them. So I'm interested to see how this goes. And I read the synopsis. The synopsis sounds so good, and it sounds like we're gonna kind of go down this mystery and kind of like some other things. Like it feels like we're going to be focusing on a lot more things other than the romance, and the romance is going to be the forefront of this book, which is very different from some other Emily Henry books, from her other books, which is very interesting. So it'll be very interesting to see my thoughts on this book, how I rate it, and kind of the vibes that we go down with this one. I'm just still flabbergasted. Also, can we talk about the length? Because this book's literally over 400 pages. I went into Barnes & Noble, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, this is a little more thicker than the other books. Like, I think this is like the longest Emily Henry book. So we shall see my thoughts on this one. I'm so excited to get into it. So let's dive in. I'm on page 100 of Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this, guys. The tension is so good. Like it's definitely getting slow burn. I can see how this is a lot different than her other books that she has released, but right now it's getting very much slow burn, like with the romance, but we have had a lot of like encounters with each other, Aiden and Alice, and I've been eating every time they're together, eat it up. Like literally the moments they're always so good, but something kind of happens. Like now we're kind of like waiting, but then we're also following the plot of Margaret and finding out about her life and what happened and everything, and it's giving very much reminiscent of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I read like 2 years ago, and I enjoyed that one, but it's not my favorite. But this one reminding me of that, like the way it's being told and the structure of everything, and also kind of like the storytelling is kind of giving Taylor Jenkins Reid vibes. So I'm really been enjoying that as well. I am really enjoying it so far, and so far I've been getting the 5-star feeling. So hopefully it stays that way. I finished Great Big Beautiful Life. Y'all are gonna be so mad. Y'all are gonna be mad. Y'all are going to be mad when I tell you guys my review for this book. But first, I want to talk about what this book is about, because I don't think I really went into the specifics of what this book is about, like the synopsis and everything. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Basically, you're following Alice and Hayden. They're both writers, and then they come up to this like opportunity to basically write for this woman named Margaret. She's like very mysterious. Like no one knows really like truly what happened. Like she's like a rich person. Like she was born into a rich family, and she was like all this gossip and like basically born into like all this like paparazzi, like she was born being famous. And so kind of follow the story about her life and everything. And then while we're doing that, we're also following this kind of romance that's kind of sparkling between Alice and Hayden. And I will say, don't go into this book expecting a whole lot of that like romance plotline that we usually see with Emily Henry books, because this book's a lot different in that aspect. It's more literary fiction, more of that fiction, kind of more of that focusing on the storyline than it is focusing on the romance. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are going wrong with not liking this book, or like they're having their expectations gone, like ruined, because they're going into this book thinking there's gonna be a whole lot of romance, when that's literally not what this book is about at all. It's about figuring out Margaret's story and how Margaret's story kind of connects to the plotline of this book. I am rating this book a Great Big Beautiful 5 stars. Yes. And did I expect it to be 5 stars? Now I'm maybe halfway through the book. No. And here's why. I need to think that when we are going into these anticipated releases and we are seeing other people's thoughts on these anticipated releases, it is affecting our thoughts on the book, because we're going into seeing other people's expectations being ruined and other people's thoughts. But guess what? Everyone's reading experience is different, and if your reading experience doesn't look like mine and mine is not gonna look like yours, but that's the beauty of it all. Everyone goes into different books getting what they get. You go into a book and you get what you get from it, and someone else can go into a book and getting a whole completely different thing from it. So I think for me, seeing some of those negative reviews and having that in my brain while reading this one literally kind of affected me, because I was halfway through and I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of slow. But no, it's not, because I was still hooked. And literally I put it on like, okay, I'm not really in the mood to pick this up, because I kept seeing so many negative reviews, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of affecting me. Like, okay, maybe it is kind of slow. No, go into it with your own thoughts and you won't be disappointed. Or you may be disappointed, but at least it's your own thoughts that are disappointing you, not someone else's. I ended up picking this book back up and I'm like, wait, why is this guy eating? Because it's I'm going in not with the expectations of someone else. I'm going into with the expectations of myself and what I want and what I'm looking for. And that's like literally that's the key to what you need to do. You need to go into books with the expectations for your own self, and not with other people's expectations, what other people are rating the book. Yeah, I gave this one 5 stars right when we first got introduced to the Kai and the romance started coming up. I was hooked. It was so good. Oh my gosh, so amazing. The romance was already cooked off, like, and it wasn't even the fact that they were actually like doing stuff. Like, it was like the banter and kind of like the tension between them, because they are rivals and they're like competing against each other. But the tension that came from that, so good. And then going further, like, even though we were still like getting the storyline, we were getting romance, and I don't understand how people are like saying, oh, there wasn't a lot of romance, but I feel like there's enough romance in this book to fall in love with the characters. And I feel like Emily Henry has already said from the start that this book is going to be a lot different than her other ones, and she's already had that set out as something that is a thing. And I feel like it just got it going knowing that, and that's how you're gonna enjoy the book, because this was a lot more fiction than it was the romance. And I ate it up. And honestly, guys, the drama that surfaced from Margaret's story and everything she was describing, like with the whole like rich people stuff, yeah, I was hooked. I was entertained. It was so good. Like, I was actually like, and I see people saying they're bored, which, okay, to each their own, but I was eating it up. So I'll probably have a lot more thoughts in my wrap up. But yeah, this book was really good. Highly recommend. I think this is my 3rd favorite Emily Henry book so far. I haven't finished my reread, so I'm not gonna really say my ranking, but if you are curious on my ranking, stick around. Believe it or not, this is the end of the video. We read 5 exciting new releases. I honestly enjoyed all of them. Some of them were a little like, okay, not like my favorites, but I honestly enjoyed every single book I read in this video. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications to notify whenever I post a new video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.